Steady State Exercise 2.2, Joseph Barra. In this project I'll be talking about what steady state exercise entails and what steady state exercise is. Steady state exercise is an activity that achieves a balance between the energy required by working muscles and the rate of oxygen and delivery for aerobic ATP production. Steady state exercise is a long continuous exercise that is completed at the same speed and intensity throughout the duration of the exercise. These exercises have to last for at least 5 minutes to be in a state of steady state. Examples of this may be cycling marathon and a running marathon. Lighter examples may include a 5k jog. Steady state allows for all the body systems to work at a continuous rate and speed. Heart rate during steady state exercise. During the initial stages of exercise, heart rate will increase when working aerobically and/or anaerobically. This happens because the heart must pump more quickly to ensure a sufficient amount of blood goes to the working muscles. There is also a lot more that happens within the body for the heart to contract faster. It begins at the receptors, which detect changes in the body at the start of exercise. Proprioceptors detect a change in movement. Chemoreceptors detect a change in the acidity of the blood, and thermoreceptors detect a change in the body's temperature. And finally, baroreceptors detect a change in blood volume. The receptors send a signal up to the cardiac control center, or CCC, which is in the medulla oblongata located in the brain. An action impulse is sent out to the CCC down the sympathetic nervous system, where noradrenaline is released into the SA node, causing the heart to beat faster. This all happens at the start of steady state exercise as seen on the graph. However, after around 3 to 5 minutes of steady state exercise, you should see a plateau in heart rate, meaning heart rate will stay almost constant for the remainder of the exercise. This happens because during steady state exercise, athletes can continue to work at the same intensity, therefore the body has the demands of the exercise and can now cope, causing the plateau in heart rate. Once steady state exercise is over, there is a fast decrease in heart rate because the body was working in a state where oxygen was available and more oxygen is available for the body prior to exercise. Therefore, there is a faster decrease in heart rate. Starling's law, stroke volume, and cardiac output. Starling's law states that when there is an increased volume of blood, the cardiac muscles are stretched to a larger size than normal. This stretching makes the heart contract more forcibly, meaning more blood is pumped out during each contraction, therefore increasing stroke volume. The average resting stroke volume is 50 to 70 milliliters for an adult, and rises to 110 to 130 during exercise, according to Anderson. For an athlete, their resting stroke volume can range from 90 to 110 milliliters and rises to 150 to 220 during exercise, according to Anderson. Stroke volume is the amount of blood that is ejected from the heart per beat. Stroke volume increases during exercise as there is an increase in venous return. Because of the increase of blood, the cardiac muscles are stretched, and because of this, the heart must pump more forcibly, increasing the amount of blood let out by the cardiac muscles during each contraction. Therefore, stroke volume is increased. Cardiac output is the volume of blood ejected from the heart per minute. Cardiac output is determined by heart rate and stroke volume. If the rate of the heart or the stroke volume increases, cardiac output will also increase. Cardiac output increases due to the intensity of the exercise, and because of this, cardiac output increases but also has a plateau during steady state, due to the intensity of the exercise remaining constant. Mo Farah has a heart rate of 33 beats per minute. Although his stroke volume is unknown, but due to his heart rate we can presume it may be around 110 milliliters, resting or higher. Therefore, he would have a cardiac output of 3,690 or lower. Vascular shunt and blood pressure. When the body is undergoing exercise and the working muscles need more blood flow, Because of this, the body redistributes the blood flow from areas that are not being used during the exercise, for example the digestive system. Once exercise is no longer happening, the blood flow will be directed back towards the area it was taken from and away from the working muscles, as they no longer need it as much. The body redirects this blood flow by constricting blood vessels, known as vasoconstriction, and blood is received back to the organs that need the blood through vasodilation. Blood pressure. Blood pressure is the pressure of blood in your circulatory system. Systolic blood pressure is when the heart contracts and forces blood around the body, and diastolic blood pressure is when the heart relaxes between beats. During steady-state exercise, there is an increase in blood pressure due to the increase of cardiac output. During exercise, systolic blood pressure rises, whereas there is a slight change in diastolic blood pressure. And after exercise, there is a fall in systolic blood pressure, as the skeletal muscular pump no longer pumps blood from the muscles to the heart. Before steady-state exercise begins, breathing rate will stay constant, as it was before, and will not change until starting the exercise. At the beginning of exercise, breathing rate will continue to rise as seen as a graph, as the body is trying to meet the demands and needs to find the right amount of oxygen before reaching steady state. When steady state has been met at around 5 minutes on this graph, breathing rate will plateau and stay constant all throughout the exercise. An average person would have a breathing rate of 35 to 45 breaths per minute while doing cardiovascular exercise, whereas an elite athlete can reach 60 to 70 breaths per minute, meaning their body can dispel CO2 more quickly, allowing for more oxygen.